Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name's Taechichu and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll never know what I'm doing, and that's what I'm using as an intro. We're back with the spooky ambiance. That's not spooky. Haunter, thank you. I wanted to do more conspiracy theories because I think you guys liked the Mimikyu one I did, and I kinda really like conspiracy theories in general, and I really like the Pokemon conspiracy theories. So, I thought I would make a series of it to discuss some of my favorite Pokemon theories, / the most interesting ones, / also ones that I've created on my own. I did a poll on Twitter, and if you're not following me on Twitter, you probably should, because I put on a lot of polls as to what I should do here on my channel. It's at Taechichu7. I couldn't get at Taechichu, I'm still bitter, but at Taechichu7, give me a follow, and then you can have a vote and things of how I do videos. And it was a tie between Ash's father, Ash Ketchum from the Pokemon anime, and Ash Ketchum, why he doesn't age. The kid has been 10 for like 12 years, so everyone's like, why is he not aging? I'm gonna be real, it's a kid's cartoon show, that's why he's not aging. But I like the conspiracy theories, so we're going to talk about them. And of course I had to have a guess, because what's a better guess than a big Pikachu from GameStop? Now, one of the most common theories of why Ash never ages is that in the very first episode, Ash sees the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh, and in Ho-Oh's Pokedex entry, it said that its feathers grant his eternal happiness. So maybe Ash's eternal happiness, or his idea of eternal happiness is being a kid forever, and that's when he started his Pokemon journey, and that's when he was the happiest in his life. So then he just stays 10 forever? That's the most common theory that I think that everyone has really heard of, at least. But there are more theories that are more screwed up and more weird. Another theory that I think is kind of interesting, just because it's like kind of something you don't think about unless the idea is brought up. What if in the Pokemon world time changes differently? What if in the Pokemon world time is just slower, and therefore no one really ages? Because in Sun and Moon we see Misty and Brock, and they still look the same age that they've always looked. I don't think there's no indication that they had gotten older. Therefore, maybe just time in general has slowed down in the Pokemon universe. Or maybe time moves by slower, and that's why we never really get to see Ash age. But I guess there are birthdays. I don't know. I think that maybe the time moves slower is a very interesting theory. Another interesting random theory is that maybe Ash is dead. So there was an episode in the original anime where Ash, it was the ghost episode with Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly, where they were in a house and a chandelier crashes on Ash and Pikachu. And the theory goes as, what if Ash can go from the physical to the spiritual realm because he is actually dead? Therefore, he doesn't age. He's just kind of a ghost that can have a physical form. We don't know how ghosts really work in the Pokemon universe other than ghost types. So, and there are ghosts that are shown in the show of people. So, what if it just took a physical... What if Ash as a ghost can just take a physical form? We don't know. It's not explained. That's why this is a theory. So, there's another theory that I think is the most common conspiracy theories of not only... It's hard to explain. I think that these types of theories not are the most dumb, but I feel like they're the most implausible, and they're the most common, especially in TV shows. This theory is the main character's in a coma theory and nothing is really real. I think that conspiracy theory is kind of a cop-out. You know what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong, if you believe the theory or whatever, that's cool, that's fine. But in my Pokemon opinion, or in my show opinion, I feel like, and they can be interesting, don't get me wrong, like the Rugrats one about Angelica being in a coma is interesting, and this one's kind of interesting, but it just doesn't seem as interesting to me, because seeing or hearing about people being in a coma and then none of it's really real is like, I don't know, it's just a common thing that I see in conspiracy theory shows. So that's why it doesn't take as much interest to me. But I'm gonna read this off from a site because this is kind of screwed up, because it kind of goes into depth with the main characters. I love this Pikachu. So, it's from a creepypasta theory. I'm going to read it aloud. This is on fantheories.fandom.com. So here we go. According to this creepypasta-inspired theory, during the first episode of the Pokemon anime, Ash is accidentally electrocuted by Pikachu's attacks. He is then slipped into a coma. The coma theory explains some of the basics of the series. It answers the question as to why Ash never physically ages, and it also explains why there are Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies throughout the region. It also explains why the children are sent off to journeys throughout the Pokemon world without any adult supervision. It also explains that characters like Brock or Misty are actually figments in this coma-induced imagination. It also states that Brock represented his sexuality, and because Ash never knew what sex was, this is the answer as to why Brock never became involved with any of the girls he tried to woo. Misty's only in his dreams because she was based on a girl that Ash knew in real life prior to his accident, and he simply added her in there. Giovanni was supposed to be Ash's father, and he was represented as villainous in his imagination because Giovanni had disowned him for his supposed sexuality. And Jesse and James were supposed to represent his purity, since they were, at the time, the only Team Rocket members who wore white outfits rather than the typical black outfits. Ash's partner Pikachu is also supposed to represent Ash's humanity, whenever he would get lost from him in the episode. The theory also notes that if Ash did ever wake up from his coma, he would most likely suffer brain damage from his accident, and he'll have to live with the fact that none of his accomplishments in life actually happened, and that none of his friends were actually real. That's dark. That's dark for a conspiracy theory. Like, I get that the coma theory is, oh, nothing's real, blah, blah, blah. Brock is sexuality. Misty's just there. Team Rocket's purity because their outfits are white. I'm just... You look at it and you're like, oh, okay. No, it's interesting, don't get me wrong. It's really, really a stretch. But it's dark. It is so dark. I can't. It's just, and those types of conspiracy theories, they're interesting because they're like a big stretch. Just like a huge, like, oh, this is why, because Brock represents sexuality, and that's why there are Nurse Joys, and, I mean, the Nurse Joys and, Officer Jennies I can understand, but Brock representing sexuality and then Giovanni being villainous because he didn't, I just don't understand. And I'm rereading it, and I'm just like, what do you guys think of that theory? Tell me what your favorite theory is from this. And I'm finally gonna get into my last and favorite theory. Not because I think it's real, but because I think it's really funny. Little bit of spoilers in here. So if you haven't seen Detective Pikachu, don't watch this next part, because there's kind of a spoiler in it. Here's the theory. What if Ash is a Ditto? And, a little bit to back it up. Dittos don't age, because they're Dittos. And, that might be why he's 10 and stays the age of 10. But the reason that I think this is plausible, Ditto can take on a lot of forms. And in Detective Pikachu, if you saw it, Ditto was experimented on and could change into a person. And what if an experiment went through where what if Ash is just a Ditto? What if Ash is just a Ditto and maybe he doesn't even know it? Maybe he just thinks that he's a human, but he's really a Ditto that doesn't age. And then Detective Pikachu is kind of like, what if they experimented on a Ditto and then the Ditto could take human forms? And what if they experimented to it enough that it could mimic the faces as well? I just find that theory fun. I don't believe it at all. No, but I just think it's fun. There's no real evidence to back it up other than it is plausible as seen by the Detective Pikachu movie. But other than that, I really don't have any other proof to back it up. There isn't really a lot of proof to back up any of these theories, but I just think they're interesting and I wanted to share them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like my content enough, you should check out my other videos and subscribe, because I'm almost at 100 subscribers, and I would love 100 subscribers on my birthday or before my birthday. My birthday is July 28th. That would be a great birthday present, so share this video also, because that would be great. Yeah, also comment down below what other conspiracy theories you would like to see me do, or any other videos. I think I'm gonna do the conspiracy theory thing to be like once a week, maybe. We'll see what kind of videos I can create and what kind of conspiracies, but this is going to be a series on my channel, and I will be making it a playlist as soon as I upload this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.